Ang yapak, ito yung kwento mo, kwento ko, at kwento nating lahat ng mga Filipino sa iba't ibang sulok ng mundo upang makita ang buhay, paglalakbay at tagumpay ng bawat isa sa ating lahat. Bakit yapak? Kasi ito yung kwento mo Kwento nating lahat ng mga Filipino na nangangarap na makamit ang kanilang mga pangarap sa buhay, na nakikipagsapalaran para abutin at sikapin na tulungan ang mga mahal nila sa buhay at ipakita sa lahat ng mga tao na sila ay nagtagumpay sa lahat ng pagsubok nilang pinagdadaanan. Para saan ang yapak? Ang yapak ay para sa iyo, sa lahat ng mga Filipino na nakikibaka, nakikipagsapalaran, at pilit na inaabot ang kanilang mga pangarap. Dahil sa iba't ibang episode na makikita nila dito sa programang ito, marami tayong matututunan sa mga kwento ng buhay, paglalakbay, at tagumpay ng bawat Pilipino sa buong mundo. Mga ma-expect nila rito sa yapak ay yung mga kwentong makukulit, masasaya, malungkot, at mga kalog na mga eksena ng mga buhay ng mga Pilipino sa iba't ibang mundo. Kahit malayo sila sa kanilang mga pamilya at mga mahal sa buhay, maipapakita ng yapak at maipadama sa kanilang mga mahal sa buhay kung ano ba ang buhay ng isang Pilipino sa ibang bansa. Ako si Elijah Villanueva, sa murang edad na nakisapalaran sa ibang bansa, nag-aral at tuluyan nag-isang OFW at pilit na nakikipagsapalaran upang abutin ang mga pangarap sa buhay. Ini-invite po namin kayo na maging part po ng mga programa namin dito sa Yapak. Just follow or like or subscribe our link para po malaman nyo po ang mga kwento ng iba't ibang mga tao upang abutin ang kanilang mga pangarap sa buhay. And definitely, we will see you po sa mga episodes ng Yapak.
Wala na po akong maihiling pa.
Ayan, good evening po sa ating mga viewers in the Philippines, and for those of you here in the UK, good afternoon. This is your Kayapak Dan, and welcome again sa Yapak Talk Show, where we feature inspiring stories of the Filipinos from arts, culture, and everyday life, journey, adventures, misadventures, and successes. For those of you who are new to the Yapak channel, Yapak is a voluntary group of Filipinos based here in London, and we are aiming to promote the Filipino culture and arts and inspiring the youth worldwide. And speaking of inspiring, our guest for this episode is an entrepreneur. She owns La Viva Cakes and Crafts. She is also part of Art Shapes Carnival's arts programming, Tier Gloucester Carnival, as well as the Secretary of Filipino Association of Gloucestershire, a global media relations of World Humanitarian Drive, and an event organizer and podcaster of Love Viva. But before that, before I introduce our very special guest for this afternoon, please don't forget to like and subscribe on our Facebook page, Yapak London, as well as our YouTube channel, Yapak London. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Viva Andrada O'Flynn, our guest for this afternoon.
Hi! Mabuhay tayong lahat. Napakagandang intro. So hello sa lahat ng nanonood ng Yapak. So thank you for having me here in your show. So it's time to get inspired.
Hi, Viva. Thank
Hi,
you
Dan.
so much for giving us an opportunity to speak to you today. As much as all of our viewers, I'm also very excited to be speaking to a very inspiring Filipino here in the UK. Before anything else, may mga katanungan lang kami kasi pag-uusapan natin ang tungkol sa buhay mo, sa paglalakbay, and of course, tagumpay. How are you, Viva? Before we start, let's get to know you. Who is Viva?
Okay, Viva. I'm this vivacious, lively person who is also getting by with COVID times right now, just adjusting. And I miss my family back home, where I'm doing my best to love life, enjoy life here in the UK with my husband, John.
Wow. When did you move to UK, if we may ask, Viva?
Well, I moved here to the UK 4 years ago. So, because I married my husband, John, who lives in the UK. So, here in the UK, far from family and friends back home. So, I just do my best to represent where I come from. So, here in the UK, I'm just trying my best to be a great Filipino.
Absolutely. And are you having a great time so far living here in the United Kingdom?
Yes, definitely. But then it's just these are COVID times, so it's a bit strange to survive in these times because ang dami-daming magandang makikita. There's so many beautiful things to see outside, but we just really have to be careful right now and to just take care of our health. So
Absolutely. I completely agree. But fingers crossed, sooner we will be able to go back to normal and you will have an opportunity to see more of the UK and Europe. Let's talk about La Viva. Sorry, just one moment. Yes,
yeah,
let's
love
talk
you.
about La Viva Cakes and Crafts, which is your passion. Can you tell us more about your business?
Okay, so La Viva Cakes and Crafts. I've started this about 3 years ago when I attended Angela D'Souza's Ultimate Business course. So it was with Vitaris Training and Women's Business Club. And then, so because of that, I've started La Viva Cakes and Crafts. And then, so I've been a member with Women's Business Club for about 3 years now. And then last year, I won Creative Business of the Year, awarded by Women's Business Club. So it's like what they do is they really just connect, support, and empower women who are in business here in the UK.
Oh, wow. And baking, is that your passion since you were a child?
Yeah, so on the subject of baking naman, palagi, nung dati ko pa nagugustuhan talaga yung baking. Ever since na-expose ako sa baking, my grandma, when she asked me to help out in her kitchen, that was like when I was 5 years old. And then so it's just the wafting aroma of freshly baked homemade goods, it just transports me back to my childhood years, and I'm always just filled with love and memories of that. So it's just happy feelings, good feelings, feelings of love whenever I bake.
Absolutely. So I can see that when you bake, you also take inspiration from your family, your experience. What is your favorite cake?
Ooh, I have a lot of favorite cakes. All my the cakes I make are my favorites.
Yeah.
Well,
What?
yeah, well, I make delicious chocolate, ube, strawberry, caramel, just all sorts of cakes.
Oh, wow. And coming from the Philippines, have you ever introduced a Filipino flavor with the cake that you make here in the UK? And what's the reception like from the locals?
Yeah, because I've been joining for about 2 years now. There's like this Barton and Treadworth. It's like a fair, food fair. And then
Mm-hmm.
so I was sharing Filipino food with them. So I made some mamon. I made um, all sorts of things. Ube cake, and then so I made them taste it. Even cheese bread. It's like the reception with that one. They were thinking that cheese isn't really supposed to be dessert, but then they were surprised that it's actually delicious to have cheese with dessert.
Yeah, surprise, surprise. The Filipino cuisine is is something to be proud of, and it really is exciting when we introduce it to the foreigners here in the UK, because it's not only introducing our culture, it's also showing that we can go on a different route in terms of using ingredients such as cheese, as you mentioned. But what is the current situation in during this pandemic? Are you still getting orders from, say, online? Are you delivering orders from people through Facebook or your social media pages?
Yes, Dan, I'm still getting orders. I even did a wedding cake.
Oh
And
wow,
then there was like this gathering networking event, and I catered for them. I made cake and cupcakes. So it's like I just help them celebrate even though there's pandemic. And then so also because of COVID, so before this, I was having fairs
mm-hmm.
all over Gloucester, like different venues in Gloucester, craft fairs. I was organizing them. And then because of this pandemic, I've had to do them online instead. So I've got this virtual craft fair, virtual fair as well.
That's very interesting. I can see you're also part of the Art Shapes Carnival Arts Programming Team in Gloucester. Can you tell us more about this program, Viva?
Okay, so I'll just let you know more about Artshape as well because I'm also an artist. So another thing that I
Yeah,
did during the lockdown was to join art workshops organized by Artshape. They're based here in Gloucester, and I think that they really look after their artists really well. So they even send us art packs to keep us entertained during the lockdown. And then also thanks to Artshape, I'm also one of Gloucester's emerging artists. And then also, since they had this opportunity for, well, they were planning Carnival, Gloucester Carnival for next year, and they were looking for people who were interested to help out. So well, I just told them that I'm interested in helping out. And then, so there was like this interview online via Zoom. And then they liked my ideas and they wanted to know more about how Filipinos celebrate. So maybe we could also incorporate that in the Gloucester Carnival next year, like share some Filipino ways we celebrate. And then they were
yeah.
also really impressed by our celebrations in the Philippines. I meant, yeah, like in Cebu, they've got like this Sinulog festival. So I sent them YouTube videos, different kinds of celebrations in the Philippines. And yeah, they were
Wow.
just amazed.
Wow. I can tell you're a shaker in Gloucester, introducing the Filipino culture. Uh, And you mentioned you're an artist because apart from your cakes and your pastries, you also enjoy joining these organizations that promote carnival and festivities. Can you tell us more about the other side of the art that you are promoting? What kind of art is that? Is that
Yeah, okay. So I'm also a multimedia artist and I've been joining like art exhibits in Gloucestershire. There was like this art in the park in Gloucester and then also in Cheltenham. It's like they showcase artists, and I think I was the only Filipino to exhibit there. And then during that time when I joined, so it's like I'm just doing Filipino represent. I'm just trying to
yeah?
represent Filipinos in all the activities that I see. Yeah.
Oh wow. So you are a multimedia artist as well. And I believe you also have a podcast. Is that correct?
Yes, I have a podcast that's called Love Viva. And then you could find it on Spotify, Anchor, Google Podcasts, Radio Republic, other platforms.
Tell us more about the podcast. What can we expect when we subscribe to the podcast or when we listen to your podcast? What stories can we expect?
Thank you, Dan. Well, what I've been doing was I've been sharing inspiration during the lockdown, and because I started this podcast during my birthday, I was attending this workshop and then it was about podcasts with Serena Gay. And then so because of that, I launched a podcast on my birthday. And then there was also because I just really enjoy attending workshops and learning more skills, enhancing my skills. And then so what I also did with my podcast, I also made them into videos as well. So it's like I've got a YouTube channel that I'm working on. So the things that I shared on my podcast, I'm also taking the listeners, the viewers on a journey to different places around the world because due to restrictions because of COVID, it's harder to travel. So what I do is just I help them journey through pictures online. Is that
Oh,
and
wow.
share inspiration as well.
Oh, wow. So, for everyone at home, if you are looking for an inspirational podcast, please follow Viva. What exactly is the name of the podcast, Viva, so we can invite everyone at home to follow you?
Thank you so much, Dan. It's called Love Viva.
Oh, wow. So, for
Loveviva.
Love Viva. And Love Viva, you are also part of the Filipino Association there in Gloucester. What is the Filipino community like in Gloucester? If you can tell us more about that.
Okay, it's really great that there is a Filipino community here in Gloucester because also it just living here in the UK, you can get like homesick from time to time. Like I miss my family and friends back home. So with having a Filipino community, it's like you feel that you aren't so alone anymore, that you're not that homesick. Because it's like when Filipinos gather pre-COVID times, it's like they would bring food and then, yeah, it's just salo-salo. It just feels so great being part of that community and you feel supported and then you could also let them know how you're feeling. You could talk to them in Tagalog. Pwede magsalita ng Tagalog tapos you feel less homesick. Kasi pag nakakarinig ka rin, when you can hear Tagalog being spoken, it's like you feel you're also back home.
I completely agree. And I'm so happy that you found your Filipino family in Gloucester. It definitely improves or helps you with homesickness when you can speak your own language, when you can eat your own food.
It's
Um, it's a home away from home. So I'm so happy for you. Tell us also more about your role with the World Humanitarian Drive. You're now the global media relations. What does the role entail? Just to make us aware of your role with the Humanitarian Drive.
Okay, maybe I should give a backstory first about how did I get chosen for the role, because during the lockdown, so I've also flexed my writing muscles. So I joined an online poetry competition with World Humanitarian Drive, and then I was awarded as one of the top winners. And they said they had over 3,000 entries, and then my poem was featured on TV, websites, blogs, radio, school publications, even. It's called Who Knew? And
Oh
then,
wow, wow.
yeah,
That's very interesting because only a month ago we were holding a spoken word poetry competition here in the YAPAC organization, and it's amazing that you are also a participant to another poetry competition. Congratulations for winning and for being part of the program. Tell us more about your entry, your poetry.
oh, okay. Well, because of that entry, they made me their global media relation. So, about my poem, it was just experience of being at home with my husband John, going through the motions of being stuck at home and with the reality of COVID. And there's just so many things going on, things you can't control. And then so I was thinking, what could I control? How can I make a difference? Because everybody's making their own mark, trying to help out. And then I was thinking, what could I do? And then suddenly I just started writing. Just I wrote about my experience of being at home, like watching TV, and then being a sofa. The sofa is like the throne, and then dressed in PJs and stuff like that. And then just doing
Wow.
gardening, and so that's it.
Wow. It's amazing that you took a very, how would I say, downtime to an inspiring time and creating a poetry. But I for myself, and I'm sure our viewers are kind of curious to hear your poetry. Would you kindly share it to us just to have a glimpse of your entry to the Humanitarian Drive poetry competition, if we can hear a few bits, Viva?
Thank you, Dan. So the title is Who Knew? Who knew we could
Who
be
knew?
heroes? Staying at home all day, binging on TV shows and movies. We're dressed in PJs. Sofa is our throne. Dreaming, planning, resting, healing ourselves and nature, experimenting on our play and creativity palette. What can we learn today? A new language, hobby, craft, skill, level up? What can we support? Even a 99-year-old veteran can walk to raise millions in donations. Why can't we? Just giving fundraising to help those in need. We work from home, mingle with our family and friends online. We fight the virus from spreading. Together, one world at home, while frontliners work around the clock to keep life moving. Staying at home all day. We could be heroes. Who knew? That's the poem, Dan.
Oh, wow. Well done, Viva.
Thank
That's
you.
amazing. That's amazing. You know what? It's a very inspiring poem. but there's, how would I say it? There's um, a bright side to it. The way you delivered it, there's just so much optimism that, you know, at the end of this dark tunnel, there is a light that we all look forward to. And there is hope. There's always hope for everyone. It's not a permanent, how would I say it, state in our lives. It's only a challenge and it's only temporary. So thank you so much, Viva, for a very inspiring poem. And I'm sure the viewers are at home would have loved that and needed to hear that, some inspiration today. Again, for those of you who are at home, please don't forget to like and subscribe on our Facebook page, Yapak London, as well as our YouTube page under Yapak London as well. And Viva, apart from your poetry, I can also see that you're continuously inspiring young entrepreneurs to be encouraged to persevere in business and their passion. Can you tell us more about you being awarded as an inspiring entrepreneur of Go Negosyo? I believe this was awarded to you in 2010.
Yes, that's right, Dan. So it was awarded in 2010, and I received that award with my sister, Happy Andrada. She's a fashion designer in the Philippines. And then, yeah, we have this business. It's called Fashion Art. And when you abbreviate it, it's called FART, Fashion Art.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's like, it has a really unique, strange name. But then it's what also helped us promote the business. So just the name itself, and then the products that we sell, of course. But the name helped promote it online. And then so people would go to Fashion Art and take pictures of themselves on the wall and then post it online. And then people have actually made memes out of it, so we could still see it from time to time. And then
Oh,
so,
wow. Wow.
yeah, it's just these times, these are COVID times, so you might think that it's difficult to find inspiration, but the truth is, inspiration is everywhere. So you can find it inspiration in frontliners who do their necessary jobs and they risk their lives doing it. So inspiration can be found in businesses that pivot, so they change their ways of operating tasks to survive these times. And then you can also find inspiration from people doing random acts of kindness. Those people who are going out of their way to help out in these challenging times. So, and then also another source of inspiration is like youth groups like Yapak London. It's like you're giving inspiration to the youth right now because maybe some of them are feeling lost with how to do things, how to gain inspiration, what just going through the motions, what's their talent, what could they do. And then so you even had this spoken word competition. So that for sure just made them feel so much better, gave them confidence in their talents, their skills, that they also realize, hey, there's also more things that I could do. They also discovered new talents because of Yapak.
Oh, wow. Absolutely. For those youth at home, Viva, especially in the Philippines who have been affected by the current situation, what advice can you give them in order to keep them motivated and keep pushing for your dream? I know you, for one, you are a very successful woman who persevered and really pushed for your passion. What advice can you give to our youth watching at home?
Well, there's this phrase that I shared on my podcast. There's always something better if you make it so. So, whatever curveballs life throws at you, there are ways that you could actually do better because of it. Like I shared things on my podcast, such as there was this flower competition in Cheltenham, and then I already had this award-winning entry, which I thought. And then there was a blizzard that came in, so it was like it snowed.
Yeah.
And then so the event was canceled. So I was thinking, oh, this is such a waste. What am I gonna do with this? I mean, I worked so hard on it. So what I did was I looked for other venues that I could actually share it. So meron ako nakita. I saw this thing online. Hobbycraft was looking for Make of the Month. There was a Make of the Month
Okay.
competition. So I saw that and then I just submitted it. Wait, what I did was, so Mr. Yellow Flower Man, I took a picture of it out in the snow because there was like blizzard, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it snowed in. So I just took a picture of my creation with the snow, and then I submitted it online to Hobbycraft, and then I was one of the winners, and then I won gift certificate that was actually worth more than what I could have won if I joined the Cheltenham Flower Show.
Oh, wow. Wow. It really shows that you are very creative, and also you take initiative, and you don't give up when there are challenges ahead of you. That's amazing. And I'm sure everyone, the youth watching at home, has taken something from taken the lesson from what you shared. And thank you for that, Viva. For the World Humanitarian program as well that you are also part of now. Can you tell us more about what the organization is doing currently?
Okay, World Humanitarian Drive. Well, you could see their Facebook group by searching for it. And then what they do is they really promote all sorts of activities to give inspiration for these times. There are all sorts of seminars, talks, and then also just this recent event, there was like this discussion with the Dalai Lama.
Oh, wow.
And then so it's like children of Croydon in London, they were asking questions to the Dalai Lama. And then so it was just inspiring. And then so World Humanitarian Drive, they also have different branches in different parts of the world. So it's like they have constant activities. And then so World Humanitarian Drive, it's an international NGO and it's founded in Croydon in the UK. And our chairman is a British Indian global peace activist,
Mm-hmm.
entrepreneur, writer. He's Dr. Abdul Basit Syed. And then also the primary vision of WHD is to promote peace, education, and trade harmony initiatives globally. And then so it's just like with my position, I just promote their different activities online.
Oh,
And
wow.
then also, yeah, I share it with other media groups around the world. And then the fascinating thing is that the press releases I've done have been translated also in different languages. So it's just fun. It's something different.
Oh, wow. I can tell that you are very pleased that you're part of the organization, and we're proud of you for representing the Philippines as well. Someone in the World Humanitarian Drive is actually from the Philippines, and thank you so much, Viva, for representing us and for inspiring everyone to push for our dreams. Before anything else, we would like to take a few minute break for everyone. If you can just sit back, relax, and enjoy this video.
Kuya. So guys, kasama ko si Regina, siya yung magla-drive, and si Mikey. So mag-distribute kami ng food. See you later. Ay si Regina, salamat. So nakayapa ka uniform kami, di ba? So, this is Kuya. And we will be distributing 600 food packs. Hello, so kasama ko si Zian. Si Kuya. Nag-deliver kami sa iba-ibang places here in London para sa mga frontliners. Nandito kami sa Lushington Road. So, ayan yung mga goods, groceries. So, almost 2 months now, namimigay kami ng mga groceries dito sa London sa mga Filipino communities. And, ayan, ito yung dalawa, si Rodel and Ella, sa COVID Warriors, kung saan dinideliver nila sa hospitals and different places here in the UK. And kudos sa kanila. Groceries para sa stocks.
Ayan, welcome back to everyone. I'm so sorry there's a little technical issue beforehand, but welcome back to all our viewers at home in the Philippines. Good evening po. Thank you so much for tuning in. Welcome back to the Yapak Talk Show. Again, I'm with Viva Andrada O'Flynn, our guest for this evening. Viva, I must say that video is quite inspiring, that in times of challenging environment, with everything happening in the world, our youth here in London found the time and the effort to help out others, and that is the aim of Yapak London Viva. It's to inspire, to promote our culture, and at the same time, if we can, we also lend a helping hand to the community. And I am so pleased that I am speaking to you today, Viva, to inspire our youth. At the same time, to give them an idea as to how they can pursue their passion. Just like you're a very well-rounded person. You have your cake and pastry business. You're part of the World Humanitarian Drive. At the same time, you're an inspirational artist with your poem and your multimedia art. Viva, where can we follow you so that we can keep on track with what's happening with the La Viva cakes as well as your podcast. If you can introduce it again to our viewers so we can follow you.
Okay, thank you so much for that, Dan. So on Facebook, you can follow me, La Viva Creations. There's also La Viva Cakes and Crafts. And then, yeah, I also share inspiration through my podcast, which is La Viva. You can find that on, well, different kinds of like podcasts. Like there's Anchor, there's Google Podcasts, there's Spotify. Yeah, you can find it in those places.
Amazing, amazing. Love you. So we encourage everyone to please follow Viva. Again, thank you so much for inspiring us this afternoon, Viva. If I can take home a lesson today, it's basically to persevere in times of the challenging environment or the challenging world that we are living in. It's not a permanent state. It's only a challenge. And if we can always see the bright side of life, if we can see inspiration from everywhere, from our family, from what's happening in the society, there's always something to do, and there's always a route where you can pursue your career. Before anything else, I'd also want to say hello to all of our viewers, Viva. We actually have a few followers today. To Mickey, to Tati. We have also Miss Cora. Hello po. Good evening. And for those of you who are tuning in, welcome to the show. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to message us. Again, we are also on Facebook and on YouTube at Yapak London. And here we go. There is a question for Viva. Ano yung naging struggle mo as a foreigner and kamusta ang kalagayan mo as an artist? Coming from Miss Mercy Villanueva.
Thank you so much, Miss Mercy Villanueva, for your question. Yung struggles ko, yung starting point here in the UK, kasi it's a different environment. And then I was far away from my loved ones, my family and friends in the Philippines. So, and then I had to just make sure, just find out what was I supposed to do here. Like, how could I share my skills? What kind of business? And then, so what I was doing was I was just attending all sorts of events and then getting to know the community. So, ang dami kong sinalihan, dami kong pinuntahan, dami kong nakilala. Tapos, what I found out naman I found out that British people, they're really friendly naman. Tapos, they really help out then. If if there are any problems, if you're encountering anything, and then, so you just ask them. And then also there are many communities, Filipino communities here in the UK. So kapag na-feel homesick, you can just look for a Filipino community. Like when I was in Cheltenham, I met this lovely lady, Ate Kits, at a church in Cheltenham. So kasi during that time, talagang homesick ako, hindi ko alam kung what I was supposed to do. So I saw in the newsletter that there was like this Filipino mass, a Filipino event in the church. So pinuntahan ko yun, and that's where I met Tita Kits. And then she introduced me to different Filipinos in Cheltenham. So I kept attending their parties, their get-togethers. So I just didn't feel homesick anymore. And then we were eating Filipino food. So masaya.
Wow. Wow. Everything happens for a reason, and there's always a Filipino around the corner. We're everywhere. So it's good that you found new family and friends that quickly, Viva.
Yeah, kalagayan ko as an artist. Well, I'm just getting by and experimenting on my craft.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, as an artist, I think it's the main challenge for you is to continuously find an inspiration. And I'm pleased that you are continuously finding an inspiration from everywhere. And if we are here as you know, as the Yapak team, if you know, in the future, if you need inspiration from the youth or from the Filipino organization, we're more than happy to lend a hand to you. Just let us know. I think we have, and it's mostly comments actually, Viva. They're all giving us hearts and likes, and everyone is very inspired with our topic for this evening. Ayan, we have Mr. JR Dusawan saying good evening. Good evening po sa mga nanonood. And Miss Cora, hello, good evening. Welcome po. There we go. We just have a lot of love, of love for you tonight, Viva. I think we have good news as well from the Yapak organization. And if, oh, there we go. Being a very young organization, we have accomplished a few recognitions already. And if you let us share this wonderful news with you, just would like to congratulate everyone who is part of the YAPAC, not only the members of the organization, but our viewers as well, who have continuously supported our talk show, our YouTube channel. Mga kaibigan, we are now part of the adopted charity program of Prosper World in United Kingdom, which is a philanthropic organization. The other good news is that the Yapak Group, is part of the 10 accomplished youth organizations Tayo Awards in the Philippines. So, bravo and amazing news. We also would like to thank Google, Canva, Zoom, and NGO. And now we are also registered at the Securities and Exchange Commission of the Philippines. So we just want to share this great news with you, and hopefully we'll get to have an exposure and to help out more of our youth in the Philippines. Thank you so much for all your support, to all our viewers and to the members of the YAPAC organization.
Congratulations, Yapak.
Thanks, Eva. And it's so wonderful to have you as our guest for this afternoon. Continue inspiring everyone, and we wish you all the best of luck to your future endeavors. And we hope to actually see you here in London. Whenever you're here, let us know. We would like to catch up with you. For those of you at home, thank you for tuning in. For the viewers in the Philippines, have a good night. For the viewers here in the UK, have a good afternoon. Thank you so much for watching us this afternoon. Have a great day. This is your Kaya Pak Dan, and thank you so much again, Viva.
Thank you.